Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. This is Dimitri. Thank you so much for watching. Now today we're going to be talking about some of the best scents that you can use if you live in a hot and humid country. Now if you are fortunate enough to live in a city or an island that is constantly above 25-30 degrees Celsius, well, good for you. But if you're a fragrance lover and happen to live in such a place, well, I have some bad news for you, because you must know that heat and humidity, especially humidity, are by far the two biggest enemies of a fragrance. So say if you have a perfume that would last about 10 hours in a fresh city or a fresh country, and you take that perfume on a vacation to a humid and heated place, well, the life goes from 10 hours, the life of that perfume would go from 10 hours to say no more than 3 to 4 hours, which is quite ridiculous. But that's just a consequence of the excessive heat and the fact that you will be sweating a lot more if you live in a hot place. So basically what will happen is that the top notes of a perfume will evaporate almost instantly. So you will be left with the heart and the base of a perfume, but that will not last as long as it actually should. Yet I'm gonna give you a few tips that you can use to your advantage if you live in a humid country. Now, obviously, you should probably forget about using oriental perfumes, especially during the day, because those are usually made up of vanillic, ambery, resinous, and deep, rich, and opulent notes that don't go very well with heat and humidity, because sometimes they tend to be overly sweet and they could actually choke you out. Now, if you want to put such a scent on a, say, hot but kind of fresh summery night, that's okay. But when the sun is heating on your skin and you're in a country or an island or whatever that has temperatures that peak at 35 degrees and the humidity is killing you, forget about those. Instead, focus on the zest, lemony, fresh and woody perfumes such as chypre, such as woody aromatic scents, and perfumes that actually have no cumarinic sweet notes in them. Those are the best bets. And even though they do not usually have the longest longevity, some of them actually perform pretty well. I'm gonna give you a few examples now. Without further ado, I'm gonna start off with one of my favorite scents of all times, and this is a vetiver based perfume with a very strong note of grapefruit that will just refresh you and will basically make you feel a very elegant and sophisticated person. This happens to be the signature scent of Hugh Jackman, which is none other than the actor who made the Wolverine, but everybody must actually know him. This is Grey Vetiver by the house of Tom Ford. So this is from his designer line, so not too expensive, but let me tell you, this could easily be one of the signature blend collection perfumes because it is so well made and elegant and well balanced that this is by far one of the best Haitian vetiver based perfumes around nowadays. It has very decent sillage, very potent longevity, and honestly, signature worthy 100%. 100%. Women love these kind of perfumes on a man. So if you happen to be maybe 24 or 25, which was the age at which I bought this perfume, give this a try, because it is not one of those old school vetiver perfumes. This is a classy vetiver perfume with a modern twist. I really love this stuff, and it works really well with high heat and high temperature. Next, another vetiver based perfume that I really enjoy a lot. This is none other than Terre d'Hermes. It goes on a different direction. So whereas the Grey Vetiver has that very citrusy, grapefruity, lemony top that lasts all along, this is a lot richer and deeper and woodier and has very decent performances as well. This is a bit more gentlemanly, so it happens to be another signature worthy perfume that works excessively well during the heated times and in the humidity, and another type of DNA that women just love. These two bad boys They work very well in the summer, but all year round, and they're just compliment getters. Easy to reach, easy to have as a signature perfume. They both work well, but go in a slightly different direction. This is a bit more playful, this is a bit more gentlemanly, a bit more elegant, if that makes sense. Now my next choice would be something from the house of Malone. This is Lime, Basil, and Mandarine, which is literally what the name says. This is a pretty underrated house created by Malone, who is a very intelligent perfumer. She actually makes some of the best and most wearable, signature-worthy scents that I have ever encountered, and I have yet to smell one that I don't really like. They're all easy to like. Some of them are simple, so not that easy to love, but most of them are super wearable, and this is one of those elegant, very manly and sophisticated perfumes where all the elements are extremely well balanced. This is a very long-lasting perfume for the kind of DNA it has, and it is strong. It's pretty potent, like, dare I say, CEO type of perfume, yet it's something that doesn't take itself too seriously, okay? So you don't need to expect some huge pyramidal effect that has a complicated DNA with this perfume. This is very easy to wear, something you just reach for it, go ahead and have a lovely day. It's basically the philosophy of this brand. Jo Malone will write the name of a perfume on its bottles, and the name is actually what you get. So, lime, basil, and mandarin. Easy reach, fantastic for hot weather. Now my next choice is one of those perfumes that do not last as long as the ones that I mentioned, but it has such a joyful and invigorating opening and even dry down that I could not leave it out of this list. This is Orange Sanguine, which means blood orange, from Atelier Cologne. And you must know that this brand does probably some of the best summery scents of all times. So you can go with pretty much anything from this brand, and rest assured you're gonna have a great time if you live in a hot and humid country. Now, since the performance is not so good, you're gonna have to over apply with this one. What I do is spray myself between 7 to 8 times, and I'm pretty much good to go for most of the day. Fantastic, very, very airy opening with exactly what the name says. Orange and blood. Blood orange is basically not actual blood. The dry down is a woody, musky dry down that makes the perfume well-rounded, but honestly, the part that is to die for is the opening and the heart. Amazing, amazing stuff. Next, I have a perfume that I have been talking about in my previous videos. This is Neroli by the house of Forbes. And to be honest, this to me is the best Neroli based fragrance out there nowadays. A limited edition that comes out in batches of 500 to 600 every year and smells divine. Pretty long lasting, bitter, refreshing, invigorating Neroli mixed with Vetiver. So as you can see, most of these perfumes are all revolving around fresh notes, but that's what you want when you live in a hot and humid country. You don't want to be choked out by opulent perfumes, which I love, but don't really work in hot and humid countries. So, for example, another one that would work very well would be Sycomore by the house of Chanel, which is another vetiver-based perfume. It does not last very long as well, so you're gonna need to overspray with this one. But it is just a very delicate, dry, amazingly well-blended perfume with a very high-class status attached to it. Now, to my surprise, I have tried one of those perfumes that no one would actually think of trying if they live in a hot and humid place. Yet it worked so well, and it is so different from all the others that we talked about that it's really worth mentioning. I only have a sample from this one, but I'm planning on buying a full bottle. My sample is pretty much gone. And this is Lyric Man by the house of Amouage. And to me, this is probably my number one scent from this brand. It has nothing to do with all the other scents, which are more incense based. This one is pretty much bergamot, rose, and frankincense, but all the way on the back. And it is such a long-lasting, masculine, opulent, and incredibly refreshing rose. I can hardly explain to you how much I love this stuff. Always manages to give me attention. My friends in the Caribbean, especially one of my friends that really likes perfumes in general, said I smelled really good with this one. My girlfriend, the first time I went out with this perfume, I was going to work. She stopped me and said, "Where the hell do you think you're going smelling good like that?" Well, this is the kind of magic that Lyric Man does to you. It's a signature worthy perfume, extremely easy to wear, works very well in hot temperatures, lasts a long time, and I am deeply, deeply in love with this one. I'm just waiting for the prices on this website where I buy my fragrances to drop a little bit, because this is some expensive stuff. So before actually indulging myself into such a beautiful scent, I need to also watch my wallet, because this is one of my passions that actually can get very costly. So next up, another perfume that doesn't cost as much as this one, but works just as well. This is from the house of Nicolai Parfumeur, one of my favorite brands for sure. This one is none other than New York Intense, which is a very masculine, even though it's labeled as unisex, chypre type of aromatic perfume. This is rated 5 stars by Terre, and I can honestly see why. New York Intense, which is one of those perfumes that I would be purchasing as well very soon, is one of those mesmerizing experiences that keep on changing on your skin. Maybe it might be a little bit, it might have that old school vibe for some young jocks, such as some of you people who are watching me, but if you're in your 30s, this is really signature worthy. It has so many stages and lasts so long, and it's so refreshing yet opulent, yet like being in a cloud of cashmere, that I'm gonna have to do a full review with this one for you to actually grasp the kind of DNA that it has, because it is majestic, lasts a long time, and it is a perfect signature worthy perfume. Now, those were all amazing perfumes, especially perfumes that you could actually wear during the day when it's really, really hot. But when the night comes out, you can actually try and go for a few oriental perfumes, floral perfumes, a little bit sweeter, but they need to have some sort of dry effect that does not cloy you. So I would suggest that you try something in the lines of L'air du désert marocain, Au Coeur du désert marocain. If you like amber, you can also go for Acad from the house of Lupin. They are all majestic. You can also try perhaps Champaca Absolute, which is one of my favorite Tom Ford perfumes and one of my favorite perfumes in general. This is Champaca centric, extremely opulent, nutty, buttery, vanillic, and just an overall fantastic blend that works very well for the date time when it's time to be a little bit sexier. You can even try, if you're a woman, to go for something like Terracotta by the house of Guerlain, another perfect nighttime perfume with a note of tiare. So this is like a beautiful lotion-like perfume, very, very tropical, extremely luxurious, as with most perfumes from Guerlain. Talking about Guerlain, you can also wear Vetiver, you can wear Héritage, you can wear Rouge. They all work very well during hot summery days and nights. As a matter of fact, Rouge is my father's signature scent, and he lives in the Caribbean, so he knows that that kind of DNA really works well in heated temperatures. Now, if you want your perfume to last a lot longer, ladies and gentlemen, now other than applying your perfume on the skin, you should apply some on your clothes, But the most important thing that you can actually do to make it last longer is to apply your perfume, and then on top of that, you apply some either neutral smelling cream or just the cream that has the same scent as your perfume. Now, most perfumes actually have a whole line that goes attached to it. They have hair mist, creams, and shampoos and whatever. But the best friend that you can actually have next to your favorite perfume is the scented cream from the same perfume. And do not make the mistake of putting the cream first and then applying the perfume on top. That is what everybody says you should do, and that is the biggest mistake that people do, because the molecules of the perfume that are applied on top of the cream will evaporate just as fast as they would if there was no cream. But if you apply your perfume and then seal it with the cream, they will be just captured and will have a lot more difficulty at coming out. And this will result in a very long-lasting experience. This is hands down the most important factor if you live in a hot country. Find your signature scent, find the cream that goes with that scent. If it does not exist, go for something neutral smelling like a cocoa butter based cream, apply it on top of the perfume, and you're good to go. So I hope you enjoyed. I will see you again soon. If you have some comments, if you have some other scents that you would like me to describe or review, and if you have your favorite perfumes for summery days, let me know, and I'll talk to you very soon. Take it easy.